I first met Hasmukh in 1996 when he visited the Blaustein Institute of Desert Research in Israel's Negev. Shortly after, our two countries established full diplomatic relations. He led a group of 3 desert ecology researchers with the purpose of learning how to build a similar facility in India's drylands and deserts in the state of Gujarat. Because I knew of many excellent Indian scientists around the globe, I pointed out to Hasmukh that India has the human resources to build a fine desert research institute without foreign assistance. But 2 days later, Hasmukh examined the plan in detail and began work on what was to become the Gujarat Institute of Desert Ecology, known as GIRDA. Over the years, I came to admire Hasmukh as a businessman and philanthropist with a deep interest in a wide range of endeavors to advance India's society and economy. I was impressed not only with his intelligence and extraordinary ability to accomplish important goals, but with his kindness and generosity as well. Hasmukh and his gracious wife hosted me in their home, and when my wife accompanied me on one of many trips to India, he arranged for us an amazing tour with all transportation provided and accommodations arranged. I'm grateful to have been able to experience the richness, color, and hospitality of India over many rewarding years, and for that I thank Hasmukh, who set me on the journey.
I am baffled even now how one can put in a few words for a man who was PA to the Prime Minister of India, MD and Chairman of IPCL, and wore several other hats. It is like condensing a Mahabharata into just a few lines. Hasmukh to me was a colossal personality, a giant of a man, not in a physical sense, but a storehouse of knowledge and lifelong experience, varying from a small village Bajana near Kutch, Saurashtra, to the seat of power in India, New Delhi. Though not originally Barodian, the contribution he made to the city of Baroda, now Vadodara, in several fields, especially in non-profiting organizations, is phenomenal. His connection and rapport with high and mighty, even after many years of retirement from active service, was unbelievable. To my wife and me, whenever we had the opportunity to meet him and Srimati Nina Ben at their house or elsewhere, we would come back, rekindle, happy to have discussed and deliberated and learned something new. He was a repository of knowledge and ideas. One of the great attribute quality of Shri Hasmukhbhai as a leader was not to overshadow others, and especially his juniors, but to allow them to grow and exchange ideas and knowledge. Never to throw his weight around, belittle or bewitch others. He was like a big tree under his umbrella and Chhatra Chaya. He would nurture and grow leaders for tomorrow. Birth and death is a natural phenomena, but his legacy will remain forever.
All societies and all people have a sense of history, a sense of relating to past which is peculiar to it, its disposition. Hasmukh Shah was one of those persons who was constantly thinking about our relationship to our history, to our past, a way of cultivating a mindset which looked at the past in a dispassionate way, in a scientific way. This looking back had to be based on facts, upon evidence. So the kind of historical sensibility that he wanted to cultivate in us was of a very modern kind. He also had perhaps one of the most unique understanding of the large coastline and the people on the coastline. Very long tradition of seafaring, of the diaspora that it created, the trade links that it provided. So the work that he got done through Darshak Itihas Nidhi on Gujarat and the seas stands out as a remarkable enterprise of an individual's commitment to looking at history in a very large sweep of time, in a large geographical sense, but also in terms of providing the basic material for understanding of history. His contribution to historical awareness in Gujarat remains sterling. His contribution to the institutional processes that he initiated, the kind of transparent institutional making that he was devoted to, would continue to guide us in Darshak Itihas Nidhi.
Hasmukhbhai has ever been a philosopher and a guide, and if I may say so, in spite of the difference in our age, a friend. His association with BAIF has been for well over 50 years, and in all this period, he has guided BAIF through various travails and transitions. Hasmukhbhai has always provided governance inputs of the highest order. He always displayed a very high clarity of thought, whether it is about value systems, whether it is about the principles of governance, whether it is about the philosophy and approach of development, or the rise and the author of organizations like BAIF. He always thought beyond the narrow confines of the problem on hand, and his thoughts were always beyond the current times in which one exists. It has always been a privilege to have known him and interacted with him.
The institution of the memorial lecture in memory of Mr. Hasmukh Shah is indeed timely by the Gujarat Ecology Society. His life indeed was well lived. He served as an inspiration, role model, mentor, and guide to many. And his contribution to society and Vadodara will continue to live on through the many institutions he helped give seed to, help to nourish and flourish. He was a man of few words, albeit many ideas and varied interests, and the community at large is sorely missing his guidance and mentorship. His role as the founder president at Heritage Trust was truly noteworthy. The trust was established at a time when heritage issues were of little concern, and Vadodara was a sleepy little town, not of much consequence. He led the trust ahead, establishing worthwhile relationships with the powers that be in Vadodara, Gandhinagar, and Delhi. He identified several projects for the trust to work upon, one of which was Champaner Pavagadh, that the trust ultimately helped become Gujarat's first and India's 26th UNESCO World Heritage Site. We at Heritage Trust, some of us were lucky enough to exchange ideas with him over lunch a few months before his passing on, and we have truly carried great memories of that afternoon.
Late Shri Hasmukh Shah, he was the founder chairman of GIRDA, and he was instrumental in formation of GIRDA from the initial stages. And during his tenure as chairman, he has brought GIRDA to the level of national reputations. He was instrumental in many of the international collaborations, which starts from Israel in 1993 to many international universities with the UK and other countries. And he was the one initiated the conferences. He was also instrumental in conducting a round table in the presence of the Secretary, Ministry of Rural Development, and Professor Uriel Sapriel. The GIRDA, when it was started with the three scientists, Today, GUIDE has more than 50 people, research scientists and research scholars working. All this development goes to Shri Hasmukh Shah Saab's credits.
સ્વર્ગવાસી શ્રી હસમુખભાઈ બહુમુખી પ્રતિમા ધરાવતા વ્યક્તિત્વ હતા. તેમનો ઇન્દુભાઈ સાથે ખાસ મિત્રતાનો સંબંધ હતો. તેથી શ્રમ મંદિરની શરૂઆતથી તેઓ શ્રમ મંદિર સાથે હૃદયના તારથી જોડાયેલા હતા. તેમણે શ્રમ મંદિરમાં ગૌશાળાનો પ્રોજેક્ટ શરૂ કરાવી બાયોગેસનો પ્રોજેક્ટ નખાવ્યો અને વર્મી કમ્પોસ્ટ ખાતરનો પણ પ્રોજેક્ટ શરૂ કરાવ્યો. આ રીતે શ્રમ મંદિરના અંતેવાસીઓને પગભર કરવામાં અને સમાનભેર જીવન જીવવાની એક તક ઊભી કરી.
શ્રી હસમુખભાઈ શાહ, આપ 2005થી જ અક્ષરમાં મંત્રીમંડળમાં કાર્યરત હતા. 2016માં આપશ્રીએ કુશળતાપૂર્વક ચેરમેન પદનો કાર્યભાર પણ સંભાળી લીધો હતો. આપે દાખવેલા વિશ્વાસ, કાર્યકુશળતા અને આપની કટિબદ્ધતાથી અક્ષર ટ્રસ્ટ આજે નવી ઊંચાઈઓ સર કરી રહ્યું છે. આપની ચતુરાઈ, દેખરેખ અને આગેવાની હેઠળ અક્ષરના વિદ્યાર્થીઓ અનેક સિદ્ધિ પ્રાપ્ત કરી શક્યા છે. અક્ષરના બધીર બાળકોના શૈક્ષણિક વિકાસ અને સામાજિક ઉત્થાન ક્ષેત્રે આપનું યોગદાન નોંધપાત્ર છે. આપની પ્રખ્યાત કારકિર્દી, કાર્યકુશળતા, બુદ્ધિચાતુર્ય અને સમજદારીને અમારા શત નમન.